Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Has been a good week in the market, some really good trade setups that we have seen. Let's see how the market behaves in the coming week. The crypto space has also been interesting. Look out for our crypto webinar immediately after this, or if you're watching the video, you can just check our crypto video on the YouTube channel. Right, so there is a question that I have that's always been asked about wave theory, whether this theory is accurate or whether it even actually works. So you will see as we go along the webinar. I would advise that even if you're only interested in specific pairs, yes, we do have timestamps under the description of the videos. But I would advise you, if you're learning wave theory and you want to see whether this really works or not, watch as we're doing the analysis this week. I'm going to be referring to some of the forecasts that was done in January. Last week, I did a forecast. I showed a forecast that we did way back in 2019. I tagged the video. It was October 12 to 14 weekly outlook of 2019 on pound Audi. Right. So after the analysis on that pair, we went on and had a trade setup during the week, which was posted on all our social media pages. You can check out that chart over there. So this was the chart that was posted on all our social media pages on Monday, if not Tuesday, before the move. So I showed you the detailed analysis from 2019 up to date and where we are forecasting the move on pound Audi. And that is exactly how the move played out. As you can see here, we were focusing that from this blue box here, we were going to have pound Audi dropping. Now, since then, as soon as we posted up that has dropped about 300 pips in just a matter of 2 days. So those forecasts come from the weekly analysis, not the weekly outlook, the weekly analysis. You will see as we go along. Watch especially on when we go to the pound and the euro pairs and the commodities and the indices. I will be referring to some of the charts that we did in January. So now we are at the end of the quarter and almost 100% of all those forecasts have played out. So watch out for that. Before we get started with this week's outlook, I want us to just go through some of the trade setups that we have been looking at in the week. So if you remember, you would have seen these trade setups. If you're not a member, you've got two free charts. So one of the free charts that you would have got is this one here. Let's have a look at our chart of the week. So our chart of the week was pound New Zealand. If you look at pound New Zealand, we focused that pound New Zealand was going to drop from here, just like pound Audi. Pound New Zealand has dropped from around this level to this level. Okay, so you can just refer to your charts. You'll see that how that move has played out on pound Audi, and we'll be showing you pound New Zealand, and I'll show you pound Audi as well, which we gave for free on our social media pages. So if you're not following us yet, you can do so. We've got a social media page links on under the description of all our videos. This was pound New Zealand. This was where the trade came from. Let's just move it. So this was where the trade came from, as you've seen from the chart of the week. So this is freely available to anyone who visits the site. So you can just sign up on the website so you can be able to access our chart of the week. It is just one of the few charts that we have looked at in the last week. So that was pound New Zealand, dropped about 300 pips. That was pound Audi, dropped about 300 pips, all freely given. So that is what we had. So XRP, you can go through those. So XRP was our chart of the week for 2 consecutive weeks. This is another one that you are going to see in the next coming, in the crypto webinar. Or maybe I can just show you exactly what I mean by Ripple. So Ripple is very interesting. So this is what I'm going to show you, and you can decide whether wave theory works or not. Let me go to the cryptocurrencies, and you see the charts that we did in the beginning of the month, and look at Ripple and what we forecasted from which level up to the current level. Now, the current moves that you see on Ripple. So this is on Ripple 0.32. Ripple was still at a mere 32 cents in January when we forecasted that Ripple was going to push up higher in this fashion. Where are we currently? Ripple has went on to hit $2 from this forecast here in January. So this is how we focused. Last week I showed you pound Audi. Let's see how the rest are going to play out. I'm going to show you a couple of these even on the crypto webinar as well, so you can see how we actually focus this. How did we know that Ripple was eventually going to push up higher to those levels? We are still expecting further upside there. Right, so that's how we looked at that. So you can check out our chart of the week. As for the trade setups, let me just show you the trade setups that we were looking at in the week. This is only for members. Let's see what we got as for members here. So we'll go through this in detail. So this was Euro New Zealand. I'll show you this in a bit on the trade recaps. So this was the forecast on Euro New Zealand. This has dropped. Now check out Euro New Zealand as well. When we start with the analysis, we'll show you how we forecasted this back in January. How this move we focused. We're actually here around this level now. So if you had looked at this one in the week, this was let's check here how many pips here, because we got this one around these levels. This was about a simple 300 pips on Euro New Zealand. Now the next one was Euro Pound Audi, which I've already shown you. That is one there. I'm not going to go through that. You've already seen how that one has played out. Euro US dollar, we saw it here as well. It has already moved about 50 pips, actually made a triangle here. We are currently around 1980 on Euro US dollar. We'll go through that in a bit as well. Just showing you the trade setups that we have got currently on the website. Pound CAD is still going sideways, has not really gone anywhere. It has done this. It looks like this wave 2 is going to do a structure like this. Let me give you a recap of all the trade setups for the week. Let's go through our select channel here, and I'm just going to make it full screen so we can see the charts clearly. So this was a US dollar yen, focusing that we're going to get a move from here. All these charts were available for members. This was on the 24th of March. You may just not see the date clearly there. That was 24th. How did that play out? There is free 300 pips there on US dollar yen. Okay, so US dollar yen, that is how that has played out. Euro New Zealand, that is the one that I've just shown you. How far are we now? That's how Euro New Zealand has played out. Now this is pound Audi. You've already seen this one. We've already made a move to the downside. Let's go back to it here. We got out of that. So this is how this one is playing out so far. Now we've got a pullback here. Does that mean a reversal? We are still bearish on pound Audi, as you will see with the analysis as we go on. Euro US dollar, we forecasted that we were going to go into the blue box. We're going to retest the blue box and push to the upside. Now you see that I've just shown you a trade setup from here around these levels, but the forecast was from here. We have been focusing that Euro US dollar is going to do this move. How did this play out? As you can see, we've already got the move to the downside. We are already here. Now we're looking at this as the first wave to the upside. We're going to expect a pullback so we can get a move all the way to the upside on Euro US dollar. US dollar chief, we focused that we're going to have the last push to the upside and then the drop. How did US dollar chief play out? That is how it has played out. So we've got the move to the downside already. We are looking for a pullback as follows. That is US dollar chief. All right, that is US dollar chief. The DXY, obviously the inverse of what the Euro US dollar is doing. That is what we're expecting. How did it play out? All of these moves forecasted before they play out. That is the DXY. Now we're expecting the DXY to give us a pullback before pushing lower. That is the forecast for the next coming sessions. US dollar yen, you've already seen this one. We forecasted that it was going to make, this was the trade setup, upside and then downside. Let's see how that is playing out. How did we know? Upside and then downside. That's how it has played out. Okay, Euro New Zealand, you've already seen this one. This was the trade setup here. We had the blue box here. We've actually taken this one right during the live trading room. We've got live trading rooms for members every day, Mondays to Friday. And we've got detailed analysis Mondays to Friday as well on specific group pairs. So for example, we would have only a Euro analysis on a day and a pound US dollar on another day and so on. So Euro New Zealand, we're still bearish. Euro pound. Now, Euro pound, check out when we do the analysis. I'm going to show you where this focus comes from the weekly outlook. We didn't just focus the Euro pound
currently from this level, we were forecasting that this move here was going to come all the way and push up higher. You'll see as you do a weekly analysis. So that's why I said you need to watch as much of this video today as possible so you can see whether wave analysis actually works or not. So this is how Euro Pound has played out. Now we're looking for this, right? That is Euro Pound, Euro Audi. Now Euro Audi, another one that I will show you where we focused it from the weekly outlook. We're not just focusing this. This was April. This was trade setups for now. We already knew from way back that this week was going to be a drop. So when that happens, we know which direction to trade. So that is Euro New Zealand. How does it play out? It pushes up higher and plays out as forecasted. Now remember, all these charts are available for members before the moves actually play out. EURCAD, look at how interesting this one is. We were right there and we saw that that was the end of the move. And how does that play out? We're currently on the move to the upside, already made a reversal. Okay, that is EURCAD. Now you can decide whether wave analysis actually works or not. Pound New Zealand, this was another one. This was a free one that we gave together with Pound Audi, as you can see from right at the blue box, and then downside, you'll see that this was also forecasted way back in January. Right, Pound New Zealand, that's how it's playing out. We are still bearish. We're looking for this to continue to the downside. New Zealand Chief, very interesting. Look at the three moves that we're focusing. 1, 2, 3. How is it playing out now? 3 moves, as you can see. The first one, 2, we're looking for this one, and then this one. Playing out as expected. That is New Zealand Chief. All right, Audi Chief. Look at how this one is playing out.
Right, so that is Audi Chief. Look at how that is playing out. We've already got that move. Now we're looking for this one. All right, let's see how this is going to play out. Silver, we focused that it's going to come to the blue box and then upside. Okay, so silver, we're looking for this to push to the upside. Let's see how this is playing out. And I will show you the detailed analysis on this when we start. So this is how silver is playing out. We've already got the move to the upside. The question is this there? Are we ready to go all the way up with silver? We'll show you the analysis shortly. Then you can see that these are so many. You'll see with the indices. The indices, I'm going to be showing you only the weekly charts from when we forecasted these moves in January that we were looking for wave 5. Okay, so that is the indices. That is the Nasdaq. That is the Nasdaq. That is how it is playing out. Dow Jones Industrial. Just so many. S&P 500. When we looked, we actually started looking for upside on the S&P 500 and the indices way back in December around these levels, actually November. Okay, so that's how we have been trading in over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of days. As you can see, that's how the charts have played out. That's the DAX. The DAX is very interesting. Look at how that has played out. That's the DAX. How did we know that it was going to play out like that? UK 100, as you can see, let's see how that plays out. So you just have to go back and see how these charts, how we focus and how they play out. They almost play out exactly as forecasted. No other method that we use. We only use the wave theory, the Elliott wave principle, together with our special indicator integrated into the system. Now you can trade this with the naked eye, and but that will not be accurate. How many people are aware or have got a good understanding of the wave theory but are still not able to make money out of it? So simply understanding it is not good enough. You need to know when to execute the trade. When is the trade ready to be executed, and when do you get out of the trade? So that is why when we host our courses, we host the courses for 2 weeks, and we don't let you go just after 2 weeks. You stay with us for a whole year. Now, for our contact details, check out the description. Under each and every video, you'll find the link to our website. You'll find the links to our social media pages, as well as our website. So sign up there on the website so you can get updates and notification if we're sending out a free charts. So those are all our social media pages. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on our Facebook page, so you can get those updates. And if you like what we do, if you want to keep following us, please hit that like button, hit the bell notification button, so that when we post up, you get an alert of our videos. Right, so let's get started with this week's analysis. So you've already seen how we focused. So as I've said, try to watch as much of this as possible. There are some really good trade setups in the coming sessions. Let's start with the DXY, and I'm going to refer to the charts that are available for members. So what happens is the charts will be all updated before the Asia session opens tonight. I'm saying tonight because it is still morning in South Africa. So let's start with the US dollar pairs. All right, so these are the US dollar pairs. So if you see here under the US dollar pairs, there's a small video there. This video is giving a detail from weekly all the way down to a trade on how we are looking at this. So here are the charts in 4 time frames, and there's a video for that week detailing what we're focusing over the short to long to medium to long term. So let's have a look. Euro US dollar 4 hour. You've already seen how we're focusing this on the trade setup. So we've got this one here. We've already made a move to the upside. We saw the trade setup. What are we focusing now? We're focusing that we're going to have a wave 2 here and then upside. This is starting a wave 1, 2, and then we're looking for this to make a push to the upside. So we're focusing that Euro US dollar is going to have a pullback and then upside. So this is how we took the trade on Euro US dollar in the week. It was very interesting that we actually got a triangle. A triangle is a very rare pattern to find. It is often misinterpreted when we do pick it up. So let's have a look here on the triangle on Euro US dollar. So this was a perfect triangle. This is called a running triangle. So you see here, so we've got this 1, we've got this 2, we've got this 3 here, we've got this 4, we've got this 5. This is A, B, C, D, E running triangle. Why is this one called a running triangle? Because the wave B here breaks the top of the previous swing. So now this is where the trade happened after the break of the triangle. Now here is another continuation pattern. So with that, we knew that if we had taken our trade here, when it was doing this, this was going to continue to the upside. What are we expecting in the next coming session? Yes, we are still expecting this one to push a little bit higher, but we're going to expect a deeper pullback before the next move. Okay, so we're going to expect this deeper pullback before the next move. That's what we're expecting there on the Euro US dollar. The DXY is obviously the inverse of that. Let's have a look on the DXY. So the DXY, let's open the DXY chart here. So the DXY 4 hour, let me get my annotation tool back here. DXY 4 hour, again, 1, 2, 3, just like Euro US dollar, but the inverse, we're looking for this one to push a little bit lower, pull back in this wave, and then downside. Why are we looking for this one to be a 1, 2? Because we're looking to complete the wave 5 to the downside. Just like with Euro US dollar, we're looking to complete the wave 5 to the upside. Now, if we're looking to sell the DXY or sell the US dollar, wait for that pullback, then you'll be getting that trade set up. Okay, so let's continue with the rest of the US dollar pairs. Pound US dollar. Now, pound US dollar was one of our charts of the week in the last, I think 2 weeks back. So we were looking for pound US dollar. Let me just open that chart of the week. Let's clean up here. Let's clean up here so we can look at pound US dollar chart of the week. No, actually on the blog. So check out our blogs as well. So we've posted pound US dollar and pound and gold on the blog. So pound US dollar, this is what we've been expecting on pound US dollar over the last couple of weeks or days. So we're looking for pound US dollar to rally, or rather to drop into the blue box and push to the upside. We have not quite dropped there. We've just made a pullback here. So is pound ready to push to the upside, or we're still going to drop into the blue box? Let's have a look at see how this looks like right now. Let's look at pound. Let's switch off everything here and just look at the structure. So this is how you look at pound. So this is a corrective structure. We're looking for this to drop into the blue box still and then push to the upside. Okay, so if this is not going to do that, we're going to see a corrective structure from these levels, and then we're going to see a confirmation for upside. At this stage, that view is still valid. We're still looking for this to continue into the blue box and then push to the upside. That's how we're looking at pound US dollar. So the structure that we're looking at here on pound here, initially it was like this. That's actually still the view that we've got, but it may change slightly. That view may change slightly, and if that changes, okay, let's just show the current view. So this is W, this is X, this is Y. Now that Y that you're seeing there, let me show you the bit of a detail here because this is important. So these are 3 waves here. These are 3 waves there. And these are 3 waves there for that Y. We're looking for this to be the complete 3 waves. Now, if this view changes, this is how we're going to look at this. Because if you look at this now, this correction here is almost the same size as this. So the view here may change slightly like this. If it changes, that means pound is going to drop much lower than what we have it currently. So that means if this is going to be the continuation pattern, we're going to see pound doing this. Let's do this one here. Going to see the pound doing this. So the view is still the same whether the structure changes or not. Right, so let's continue with the rest. Let's go to our charts here. Right, let's have a look here. Not the chat room, the charts. Let's look at let's conclude the US dollar pairs. So euro US dollar. That's euro US dollar, pound US dollar. We've already gone through. Let's look at US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, we're still looking for continuation to the downside. So every time you get a pullback, we continue to the downside. I'm sure you're tired of hearing this, but even if you're tired, this would have saved you a lot of money, because we just don't buy US dollar CAD until we get to around 20,000. Then this is the reason why we don't buy US dollar CAD. That's because we've been forecasting that it was going to push to the downside from way back. This is actually, let's just see when this one was done. I just want to check the date for this chart here. This is actually the latest one. So we've been forecasting US dollar CAD to drop from around these levels here. So this is why we do not want to buy US dollar CAD until we get to around 120 level. So that is your continuation pattern there. We're looking for this one to continue to the downside. That is US dollar CAD. US dollar CHF. Now, US dollar CHF is a very interesting one. 4 hour, we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. You've seen the forecast on US dollar CHF that we focused that it was going to push to the upside, and then we're going to continue to the downside. Why is that? So what are we looking at on pound or US dollar CHF? Let's have a look here. So US dollar CHF has got one of the most complex structures, but when you understand the structure and you understand the principle, you should be able to get this right. I want to show you the weekly chart and show you why we're forecasting US dollar CHF and how we're getting it right. Now, I've shown this one last week. I've shown you this weekly view, and I'll show you a couple of these when we get to the pound and the euros as well. Only reason why I'm not showing you on the US dollar pairs is because they're already updated. So those other ones are not updated and they're still in place. So this is what we're looking at simply on US dollar CHF. Have a look at this blue. This is on the weekly, by the way, 1, 2, and a 3. Now, internally here, we're looking for this structure. Let's go yellow. We've got A, B, has not completed this yet, ABC. Now, lower than that, we've got W in red. The X in red looks like it is not yet complete. So that is the one that we want to drop. That's why we forecasted this move and that it was going to reverse from current levels. Okay, so that's how we're looking at US dollar CHF. So we just want that to complete to the downside. This may have ended. It may even continue to the upside here, but what we're seeing here, the indicator is showing us that we're going to have continuation to the downside. So that means this is not over yet. So we're still going to push a little bit lower before we get this move here, this red. Okay, so that's how we're looking at that. So let me just show you the internal structure, what we're looking at here on the green degree. The green degree is 3 waves to the downside with W, X, and a Y. Now we are saying here that the Y is incomplete as follows. There's another degree here. Just don't want to go into that much detail. So this looks like a running flat here. 1, 2, 3. If you look at this one here, this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You see everything fits perfectly. When you look at this, and if you've got the right structure or understanding of the structures, you'll be able to see only this. Okay, so that is that. That's why we're looking for this move now. We traded this one to the upside. Now we're looking for this one to finish the move to the downside. Okay, I think I've given so much detail on the US dollar pairs. Let's run through them and complete the US dollar pairs. Let's go now on to Audi and New Zealand. Audi and New Zealand are charts to watch out for the next coming sessions. They're looking very interesting. Let's have a look here. 4 hour. So we were looking for Audi US dollar to drop into the blue box. If it does not drop onto the blue box, doesn't matter. we may have started the reversal to the upside. If we start getting a pullback here, because we've pushed up to about 77, we'll be getting this. It does not have to drop into the blue box, but as long as we are done with this structure, we are going to see another move higher on Audi US dollar. There's no trade set up as yet, but that looks very, very good, especially in the higher degree. So New Zealand US dollar, we're looking for this to make a continuation to the upside. So we're looking for this one to drop into the blue box and push to the upside. We're currently around these levels. So if that is the end of the move, we're going to see an entry, and the indicator will show us whether we're ready for this move. So that is what we're going to be looking at. So New Zealand and Audi are looking very, very interesting for the next coming session. So watch out for those. Right, let's have a look at the US dollar pairs. Let's have a look here at the US dollar pairs. Not the US dollar pairs, the yen pairs. Let's go to the yen pairs. Let's clear all of this. See what's going on there. Right, so yen pairs, let's go through the yen pairs. Let's have a look at pound yen. For hour, we're looking for upside. So if you look at the pound yen, this was the focus. We're looking for this one to do this and then upside. How is it playing out now? Let's have a look. So pound yen, this is how it may play out. Let's have a look at it. Pound yen, let's go to the pound pairs. Let's go to the 4 hour. So pound yen, if the move to the downside has ended, we're going to see this one making this running flat and push to the upside. But the expectation is that we've got this here, push to the downside. It may end here with a diagonal and then push to the upside. So watch out for this. Remember, the target on pound yen is still 156 or higher. We can still push up higher. So this is a simple continuation pattern. We're still going to expect that to continue to the upside. US dollar yen, you've already seen what we're focusing on. US dollar yen, we're looking for this one to make a 3-wave pullback. So that the 3-wave pullback as follows. So we're still going to drop into the blue box and then upside. What do I mean by blue box? That is how it is projected here on US dollar yen. This is what we're focusing. So that is where we're looking US dollar yen to get to around these levels before pushing up higher. Okay, this is already played out to around these levels. We have not quite dropped around 108. We are currently around here. So let's look on the 1 hour. If you look on the 1 hour, you'll see that we've got a blue box. That is a trading area. So members know that when you get to the blue box, that is the trading area, then they can just be looking to buy in those areas. So that is a US dollar yen. Let's look at the rest of the yen pairs. Euro yen. So euro yen, guys, is very interesting. Euro yen is looking interesting for the next week. So this was the focus on euro yen. We were looking for this one to give us a pullback and give us this corrective structure. But what we're seeing now, what is playing out, is that it is not dropping, but rather going sideways, and it's going sideways with a triangle. Look out for that triangle in the next coming session. We may be pushing up higher, and we're not going to get this one more down. Let's see the latest chart here on euro yen. So the yen pairs are looking pretty interesting as well for the next coming session. Now look at that triangle on euro yen. So I was actually waiting for this one to break higher. I was actually waiting for this one to break out of this triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 textbook triangle, A, B, C, D, E. We came here, we're supposed to push to the upside. We have not broken out of the triangle, but we've pulled back. But this is what we're expecting. One more up. Even if you're going to get a pullback or a corrective structure, that should come after the break of this triangle. So we're looking for that. So that is also supported by the expectation on Chief yen. So Chief yen and euro yen are usually correlated. So we've got a 3-wave pullback on Chief yen. We've got a pulsing move already upside. Look out for a corrective structure here and push to the upside on your Chief yen as well. So let's have a look at those two charts. So euro yen, you've already seen the euro yen chart, the Chief yen chart as well. This is what we're expecting. You can see that we've already got a 3-wave pullback on Chief yen as focused. Now we're looking for this. We already have this 3-wave pullback. We are already here. Now we're looking for this one to give us a trade to the upside. That is Chief yen. Let's look at the rest of the yen pairs. Audi yen, Audi yen looking very interesting as well. So we're expecting this one to continue to the upside here, at least for this move. If it's going to give us the structure, we're going to make that decision when we get to this level. So we're focusing continuation to the upside on Audi yen. New Zealand yen, the same. And the reason why we're looking at this is this on the higher degree, we're looking for these corrective structures to push to the upside once they are done. The question is whether they are done now or whether we're still going to have one more down. But for now, what we're seeing for the next coming week is that we're going to have a bit of a push to the upside. That is New Zealand yen and Audi yen. So let's just go back one on Audi yen here. So Audi yen, last week we were looking for this one to come around this area and then push to the upside. Okay, so that is how that has played out so far. We will be expecting this one to do this move. Okay, so that's the update on the yen pairs. Let's have a look at the CAD yen. CAD yen looking pretty interesting. So we're looking for this one to make a continuation pattern similar to pound yen. So we are currently here. We're looking for this one to come this level and push to the upside. This is CAD yen. Let's have a look at it. CAD yen. That is CAD yen. So CAD yen, we're looking for this one to drop from here. Okay, we're looking for this one to come down to these levels to just simply give us this corrective structure here and then upside. Okay, so that is CAD yen. Those are the yen pairs. Let's go to the commodities. So if you look at the commodities, these commodities now, we need to make a decision. Is gold ready for a move to the upside, or we're still going to see one more down? Now we need to see if we're going to get a trade setup and what the indicator is going to show us on gold. Let's go back again to the blog that we did on gold. As you know, we've been looking for gold to complete that corrective structure before they move to the upside. That was the blog that was done on the 31st of March on gold, and that is the chart there. Let's have a look at that chart on gold. So we were looking for gold to come down around 1600 and push to the upside. What has happened since is that this has come down here, has made this move here. Did not quite get down into the blue box. We're currently here. Now the question is whether this move to the upside, is this move to the upside the one that we're expecting from here, or we're still going to get this? This has still done this. This is what we have so far on gold. So we've got the three waves to the upside. We're focusing that we've got this one to the downside, and we're going to get this one, these three waves here, and then we're going to get this one to the downside here, and then a push to the upside. Okay, so what has happened now is that we have got this push from here. Now, is this the end of the move? If that is the end of the move, that means that is the end of that wave 4 that you see on red there. That's supposed to be here. But we are only going to see that with a trade setup here. If we get a trade setup, structure confirms, indicator confirms, that means gold has ended the move. But as it looks now, it does not look like gold is done with the move to the upside. But let's watch that for the next week. So this can still be a flat, and gold can still drop for one. So do not rush into buying gold as yet. There's somebody that sent me a message saying, thank you very much. You've saved me from losing trades on gold, because I've been looking to buy since around these levels. And we have been saying from around here, do not buy gold. The corrective structure is still in play. Now, watch. Do not go and buy now. If you're going to buy, you're going to have to get a trade set up here. Otherwise, we may still have this dropping here for one and then upside. Only when we get to the blue box, we'll be confirming that we are ready and the structure has completed. For now, we have to watch that. Silver, you've seen the forecast is already played out from around these levels that we're going to push to the upside. But the bigger structure on silver that we've been focusing over the last couple of weeks has been this. Let's switch off everything here so we can see only the structure. So silver, we've been looking at this as 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and another 3 waves to the downside. Now we've got this move up here, but this move is going up in 3 waves. Now, if this is going up in 3 waves and we start dropping from here and it does not go the way we are focusing, we already have it from here. Okay, we already break even. So what if we get down to this level and complete the structure that we've been expecting over the last couple of weeks? That will support that gold also structure is also not yet complete. So we need to wait for a bit of more data to confirm that. So there's no need to rush into this. There's still a very likely, a big chance that this can come down to this level. So let's watch it. We'll update as that goes. Those are the commodities. Platinum also showing downside here. So platinum is showing us this structure. 1, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you look at this on platinum, there are 3 waves down here. There are 3 waves down here, and we're looking for another 3 waves down here before any continuation to the upside. So commodities are looking like they're gonna give us one more down. Brent crude, let's have a look at oil. Now, oil has pushed up higher. Let's have a look at the oil structure on the website here. How have we been looking at oil? It has been sideways. Let's go to the commodities and look at oil. So oil for hour. So if you look at the oil for hour, this is the move that has now happened, that has gone up to 66 on oil. So oil has now gone up to 66 around these levels. Is this now the time for oil to reverse and give us this structure? We're looking for this structure on oil. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on oil. We've got this. We're going to start making a move to the downside. Let's watch it. Right, so that's oil and those are the commodities. Now let's go to the euros and the pound pairs. No, let's go to the pound pairs. Right, let's go to the pound pairs. Now, pound chief, let's have a look at pound chief. Now, as I said, watch out where this analysis comes from. Okay, watch where this analysis comes from. I'm going to show you the weekly charts on this. Again, if you remember, do not forget to look out for the detailed analysis on the video. Right, pound chief, January the 7th. As you can see, this is a weekly chart. What has happened since with pound chief is that we have got a move here. We were here and we were focusing that we are going to get to this level. How far did pound chief go? Pound chief went around these levels, around 128. We are here. We went around here, 130 actually. We've actually hit around 130. Now we are pulling back with this wave, white wave. What you're seeing currently, this pullback that you're seeing on pound chief is that white wave X. This move that is starting now is that white wave X now. Only question is whether this wave X is going to be a zigzag or a flat or a triangle, but we can already see that it's likely to be a zigzag or a flat. So we are looking for this on pound chief. That is the move that we saw way back in January. So that is a weekly chart. You can see how many pips that is from 1900 to about 130 in 3 months. That is over 1,000 pips on pound chief. Now, what are we looking at now? We're looking for this to complete. We've already got that move. Look for the pullback and looking for this. No, so we've had this chart since January. It is still in play. It is still valid, and it has been playing out for the last couple of months. And as you've seen, we've been buying pound chief from around that level. Right, so that is the expectation on pound. Pound Audi, I don't even have to go through this one. I went through in detail from 2018 on this one. And in January, this was the latest update. As you can see, we're looking for pound to drop. Yes, it has not quite dropped from there. What happened was that we had a pullback here that we focused it. This is the current one where we are dropping from now. So that's why we are looking for this one. We know that this is bearish. We only look for sell setups. So that's why we got that 300 free pips on pound Audi. We're still looking for more on that trade. Right, so that is pound Audi. You've already seen what we're expecting with pound Audi. Let's just go through that. You've already seen what we're expecting with that. Yes, we've got a 3-way 100 pips to the downside. You see this pulsing move to the upside. Does that mean that's the end of the move? We are still expecting this to continue to the downside. Even if this happens, we're still looking for this to the downside. That is pound Audi. Let's look at the rest. Pound New Zealand, also on the weekly. Look where the forecast was from. So we have been here on pound Audi looking for this one to drop, but we've made this pullback here. Let's have a look at the current structure on pound Audi for the pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, we focused on the blue box right here in this webinars and where we're expecting the reversal. We've already shown this one on trade setups. You saw where the entry was here from here and another trade setup here. We've already dropped up again another 300 pips. We are at the bottom of this boundary. Now, does that mean that we're going to see upside here? I'm expecting at least a 3-wave pullback before we drop here. So we'll be looking for this here on pound New Zealand. All right, let me just switch off here. Now, if you look at pound New Zealand and pound Audi, there's some similarities here. Pound New Zealand is currently here. We don't trade trend lines. I'm just showing you the similarities here. So we looked at this structure. We focused at the blue box. I've been showing the blue box way before we got to the blue box. looking at this structure like this. Now we have dropped from the blue box. Our blue box actually was from here. We've dropped from this blue box. We are here. Now we're looking for this to give us a corrective structure here and then continuation to the downside. We may be getting a trade around these levels. The same way we got the trade on pound Audi as follows. If you remember on pound Audi, on the lower boundary of this channel, what happened? We had this corrective structure in 3 waves. And we took it right here. This is the one that we sent. We sent out an update from here and then the drop. But that's not because of the trend line, that's because of the structure, which we have been looking at as follows, as 3 waves to the upside. Okay, now as you've seen, the structure comes from the weekly outlook way back in 2019. Right, so those are the pound pairs. Let's have a look at pound CAD, lastly on the pound pairs. Now, another one that's very interesting. You have to watch where this comes from. Look at this move. So we forecasted that this was going to push up higher and then it was going to drop way back in January. Look at how this was done. Let's go to pound CAD. Look at where we were in January. In January, we were here. We've pushed up higher to around these levels and we are now dropping. Okay, I've shown this structure in detail over the last couple of weeks. Just go and see what I've been showing. You'll see I've been showing you this structure. So this is how it has played out. We've made a push to the upside. We're coming down here. Now there seems to be a continuation pattern here. It looks like this is still valid and is still in play. And we're going to expect pound CAD to continue lower still. This is pound CAD. Even if we do see this pushing out of the structure as follows, we are still going to expect this one to be a continuation pattern and then downside. That is on the 4-hour. Right, those are the pound pairs. Let's go through to the euro pairs. Let's start with euro pound. Very interesting structures forecasted way back in January, end of the quarter. They've now played out exactly as forecasted. Look at euros. Let's go to the euros. We'll start with the euro pound. Look at how amazing this is. Euro pound. These charts were done way back in January. Actually, January was the update. We had been looking at these structures for years. Right, so let's have a look at this one here. This is a weekly chart. Look at where we were on pound, euro pound. So you just have to go look at your charts and compare to what we have here. So we were looking for euro pound to drop around these levels and then push to the upside. Haven't all those moves played out already? We've got already this drop to around 84 here and then a bounce here. Look at your charts. Euro pound. Go to the weekly chart. As this has been dropping, we've been showing euro pound is going to continue dropping, but you just maybe didn't understand why we were expecting that drop to happen. So this is the weekly chart. As you can see here, euro pound, that was the forecast. We've been looking for that to drop around this level. Okay, have you seen that? That's where we were. We're looking for this one to drop at around 84, 85, and then push to the upside. Okay, this move to the upside has not yet been confirmed, whether that is the end, because we may still get one more down here and then upside. So let's watch that. That is how we forecasted those moves. As you can see, that is the move played out. Are we ready for this one? That's how we're looking at that. That's euro pound. Let's look at euro Audi. Again, euro Audi. Let's have a look at this one. Euro Audi, similar to pound Audi, really. So that is the move from way back in January. We've been looking for euro Audi to drop. We've actually had a pullback here and we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. Euro Audi may be one of your charts of the week in the next coming sessions. So watch out for that. It's confirming downside. Let's look at the 4-hour and see what we have. So the 4-hour, where are we getting on the 4-hour? This is pulling back same way as the euro pound. So this looks like a continuation pattern for further downside, just like we're expecting with pound Audi. Pound Audi, we're expecting a push to the downside as well. And this may have made this structure here. Okay, just going back to pound Audi just to show the structure. That's euro Audi, euro New Zealand. Again, let's go back to the weekly chart on euro New Zealand, see where these forecasts come from. We're euro New Zealand, we've already dropped here. We've already pulled back here and we're looking for downside. These structures come back from January. That has been the forecast on these pairs here from way back. So euro New Zealand, we've dropped here. You saw the trade setup from here and we're expecting further downside. Okay, so this does not mean anything. We're still expecting this to continue to the downside. EURCAD, right? So EURCAD is going sideways. You've seen the forecast on EURCAD. Let's have a look here, see if it's still here. This is the latest update. We forecasted EURCAD. You saw during trade setup, we forecasted EURCAD. We are here. Now we're looking for this one to just pull back and show us a continuation to the upside there. That is EURCAD. Right, EUROCHIF. Now, EUROCHIF, very interesting. Look at this weekly chart. Look at this weekly chart. Now, I'm showing you all of this. Remember the question I asked in the beginning, does wave theory work? Look at this structure as it is. So from back in January, we forecasted that this was going to make a push from here. Okay, this has already moved. Let's see how many pips. We've already moved about 572 pips. It's not necessarily a one single trade. We're just showing you the forecast, because the reason why we focus is so that we can get direction and we get trades in that direction. So look at EuroChief, very beautiful chart on the weekly. Look at what happened. We already have this. We are here. What are we looking for? We're looking for this three-wave structure. Okay, that's how we're looking at EuroChief. Right, so EuroChief, I was still going to get that move as far as we are focusing. We are currently looking at this as a continuation pattern. It looks like this is still going to be in play, and our weekly view is still in play. Right, those are all the Euro pairs. Let's have a look at the cross pairs. Now, you may be getting a trade setup in the next coming session on Audi New Zealand. Look out for this. Audi New Zealand may be giving us a drop from to around these levels. So watch out for that. I'm showing you on the weekly. Look out for that on the 4-hour. Let's go auto. So this is still showing us continuation to the downside. Even if this is going to give us this structure, indicators showing us that we're going to have one more down and then upside before any move around these levels. Okay, so let's watch out for that. That's a focus, not a trade setup. So just watch out that. Audi Cad. Okay, Audi Cad, we were focusing this one to make a move to the upside, but we took this one, we took this sell live during the training room here. So we were looking for Audi Cad to continue pushing to the upside here, but this move did not go up in a straight line. It did not go impassively. It has made a corrective structure. So it looks like Audi Cad is still going to give us this move. Okay, so let's just have a look at the chart here on Audi Cad. One of the most complex structures, but we actually managed to get it right. Let's look at cross pairs. So cross pairs are those pairs that do not have the US dollar in them, and that is pairs like Audi New Zealand, Audi Cad. Let's have a look at the weekly chart on Audi Cad. Look at this chart done back in January. We were looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. We are now pulling back here as follows. Right, so that is Audi Cad. Let's have a look. Audi Cad, that's what we have. So we're pulling back here. Now, does not look like that is all the pullback. It looks like we're still going to have this before we push to the upside. Just means a double correction there. AUDCHF, maybe getting a trade setup in the next coming sessions as follows. We push to the upside, come back down, and then upside. Now, when this structure is done, you're going to have a very nice trade setup to the upside on AUDCHF. Okay, just watch out AUDCHF weekly chart. We focused on this from when it was still around these levels at 68. So we look here at 68 and then pushed to the upside here around these levels. Right, so AUDCHF has come around this level. Similar structure as Audi Cad. Let me show you how this one has played out in the real chart from where we focused it to where it is now. This was the forecast. When we were here in January, we focused that we're going to get a move here to around these levels. That's the structure. That was the focus. This is how it has played out so far. And this was the forecast, as you can see. How did we know? Way back in January, when the market opened, when the year started, we focused it, we updated all the weekly charts. Now it's at the end of the quarter, we're going to be updating all the weekly charts as well. So you'll see at the end of the next quarter, how these will have played out. Right, so that was Audi Cad, AUDCHF, New Zealand Cad. So we look here, New Zealand Cad, the same thing. So you can see here, the focus here was that this one slightly pushes to the upside, and now we're starting to get this trade set up here. That was the weekly. We pushed up a little bit higher, but we are now starting to pull back, and we may be getting a nice trade setup for the next coming sessions here on New Zealand CAD. I was looking at New Zealand CAD, right? It is actually New Zealand CAD, yes. Right, so you may be getting a very nice trade setup over the next coming sessions. Let's go to the 4-hour. So look out for this on New Zealand CAD on the 4-hour. These may have made a structure as follows, and we are ready for a continuation to the downside. Look for sell setups here on New Zealand CAD. Bigger structure confirming downside. New Zealand Chief, let's have a look here. Similar to Audi Chief and CAD Chief. This is how we forecasted New Zealand Chief. So we're looking for using New Zealand Chief, similar to Audi Chief really, to push up higher. And that's exactly how it has played out on the weekly. And that's how we get these trades right. Now we're currently making a corrective structure. Is this the reversal? As you can see, this is not a reversal, and this is a weekly chart. We're looking for upside. It has not confirmed as yet. All we are looking for now is for this to give us a clear trade setup to the upside, and we will then take that trade when that confirms. As it is now, we're still getting this deep corrective structure. So we'll be watching out for this to give us a confirmation for upside. How do we get the confirmation? We look at the structure, cycle, sequence, as well as the indicator. Right, so that is New Zealand CAD. CAD Chief, similar, exactly the same. As you can see, all these forecasted way before these moves happened. CAD Chief went and rallied as follows and has made this parabolic move to the upside, as you can see here on the weekly. All these forecasted way back in January. Now, I've been asking since the beginning of the webinar, does wave analysis actually work? Now, from the evidence presented to you, you can make your own decision. Someone can actually say it does not work because they do not have the proper understanding of the wave theory. But if you do understand how this works, then you can actually have a very good perspective on it. So we've got that. We're still looking for continuation to the upside. We're currently correcting on CAD Chief, and that's the story on the Forex space. Now let's go through to the indices. Now the indices, again, I'm going to show you the weekly charts. Simply, somebody made a comment under the YouTube videos that we are not doing proper analysis on the indices because I just keep saying keep buying. Now I want to show you why I've been saying keep buying on the indices. Let's have a look at the indices, and you'll see why. Every time you got a continuation pattern, I would just say keep buying. Once you've got the cycle and the sequence and it's confirmed by the indicator that we use, then the analysis just becomes very simple. Look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 from January, we were forecasting this wave 5. Now, if you've been watching these videos since last year, you'll remember that from around these levels, I'll show you that on the daily, we've been forecasting that we're going to make a push to the upside. Where is the S&P 500 now? We are currently at 417, around these levels. We've pushed up higher from 382. We are here. We're looking for this wave 5. This is how we forecasted the S&P 500 and the daily chart on the same day with the weekly. That is how we forecasted that. We're looking for that to go to around 1460, as you can see, 1450, and we've been looking for this. In December, if you check, where we forecasted this, we started looking at this wave 5, was when this made this 3-wave corrective structure here, and we looked at that as a wave 4. Now, once you've got this, what more analysis do you do? It is just a single pulsing move. All you do is buy. All you do is buy whenever you get continuation patterns. That's how we've been looking at the indices since the beginning of January, or from November last year when they made this corrective structure here. Okay, those are the indices. That is the S&P 500. Now look at, let's look at the Dow, or rather, let's look at the Nasdaq. Let's go through them in a sequence. So the Nasdaq is currently at around 14,000. So let's have a look here. From January, we are at 13,000. We're looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. This is where we are, and this is how this has played out as well. Now, what is the expectation? Let's look at the Nasdaq. We're currently at 14,000, and we are still looking for this to make a continue. The Nasdaq is actually only just getting started, because on the weekly, it is still showing us continuation to the upside. So we will see that 17,000 on the Nasdaq. So we're still pushing up higher on the Nasdaq. So let me go down to the lower time frame here, just so we can see what the next move is going to be in the next coming sessions. So this is the 4 hour. So if we're going to get continuation to the upside, we have to look at for this. We have to break this high here. Breaking the high confirms further upside. What about the S&P 500? It's just a parabolic move to the upside. So wait at least for a deeper pullback. Similar structure as this. If you're going to get involved there, do not just go and buy it because it's rallying. That is not safe. Right, so that is the Nasdaq, the UK 100, or rather the Dow Jones. Let's have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. You'll see it's exactly the same weekly chart. What have we been looking at? We've been looking for this to push up higher. What about the daily? Let's look at the daily as well. That's the daily chart. And we've been looking for this one to push up higher as follows. Okay, right, so that is the Dow Jones Industrial, where we currently from around 31098. Let's see where we are now. This is where we were in January. Let's look at it on the 4 hour. So I want to show you where we were in January. So in January, we were here on the Nasdaq. So this is where we were, and we will focus that we're going to have a continuation to the upside from here. That's where we are. So what has been happening since then? Since that forecast, you've been getting entries as follows. What did I say during the weekly outlook in February? I said, look out for this as a continuation pattern. It's going to continue up. What did we say in March when this was happening? I said, look for a continuation pattern to the upside. You look to buy. What did we say around April when this was making a corrective structure? We said, look to buy. Every single week when we had these webinars, we're looking for only buying opportunities because that's what was presented to us. Let's look at the UK 100. UK 100. Look at the 4 hour. This is the recent one. We're looking for this one to continue to the upside. That move has already played out. So look for continuation to the upside on the UK 100 as well. The DAX, look at the weekly chart. Look at the weekly chart from January on the DAX, from when we were around 14,000, forecasting 22,000. Okay, let's see how the DAX has played out. Exactly inch perfect how it was forecasted. That's how the DAX has played out. Let's go to the DAX. Let's go through the DAX. As you can see here, and I'm going to look at it on the 4 hour from around 14,000 in January. Let's look at that in January. That's where we were. So from January, this was around 14,000. We made this corrective structure. We said we're looking for a continuation to the upside. March corrective structure, up. April corrective structure, we said upside. Now we've already made this. How many points are these on the DAX? So that's what happens when you've got the structure, when you've got the cycle, you trade with confidence. Right, the Nikkei, the same weekly chart from January. We focused at the Nikkei from around 26,000 that was going to push to the upside, 28,000 rather, and then we're looking for this. How is the Nikkei played out? So the Nikkei, those that have been watching our outlooks on the Nikkei, remember how we focused at this one. Let me see on the daily if I can get a clear chart from where we actually got it. The Nikkei we actually got from here. We got a trade from here. An upside. Just go to around this dates here that is in December. You'll see how we focused at the Nikkei. We're currently here. This is the recent one. Has not really gone anywhere. We are currently here. We're looking for continuation to the upside. Right, and lastly, the Nifty, which is not listed on our website, but we do look at it here. Still look for continuation to the upside here. Again, look for a continuation to the upside when this confirms. And that's how we have been looking at the markets, and that's what we're looking into the next week. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what we do, don't forget to hit the notification button, subscribe to our channel, and drop us a like and comments. Follow us on our social media pages. Sign up on the website so you can get alerts when we post out some charts. Have a great week, everybody. See you next Sunday. Cheers. Bye-bye. For those that are looking for that are interested in the crypto outlook, just hang on 5 minutes. We'll be starting with the crypto webinar. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.